Welcome, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we're going to talk about the Bakkt exchange, Bitcoin, and what Bakkt is planning to do in order for you to have Bitcoin in your 401k account or your retirement account. So without any further ado, let's get started. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion. I am not smarter than you. You are smarter than you realize. Do not trust what I say. Do your own research. Now, this is a picture of the New York Stock Exchange, and this man is the chief executive officer, kind of like the president of the New York Stock Exchange. This is his wife. And his wife is also the CEO, Chief Executive Officer of the Bakkt Exchange. And so this power couple is creating a brand new exchange for cryptocurrencies that went live on September 23rd, Monday, September 23rd, 2019. The New York Stock Exchange's owner wants to bring Bitcoin to your 401k. Are crypto credit cards next? So, and that's actually kind of a very interesting question. So let's get into it. Bitcoin could be on the verge of breaking through as mainstream currency. At least that's the goal of a startup that's soon to be launched by one of the most powerful players on Wall Street with backing from some of America's leading companies. With the creation of Bakkt, ICE is the owner of the New York Stock Exchange. That stands for Intercontinental Exchange. I always want to say international, but that's not correct. It's the Intercontinental Exchange, and they aim to transform Bitcoin into a trusted global currency with broad usage. So that whole phrase is actually really a key phrase. Trusted global currency with broad usage. Not long ago we had an announcement about the Libra coin from Facebook, and it sent regulators all over the world, from the United States to Europe to other countries. It has set them with their hair on fire, wanting to talk to Facebook and Libra about their cryptocurrency that's an attempt to be a trusted global currency. And yet with the Bakkt exchange, I haven't heard regulators running around with their hair on fire. So Bakkt may have a better way of going about this and creating a trusted global currency with broad usage. Quite interesting. And the only reason why Bakkt would have a better handle at doing that is, as the owners of the New York Stock Exchange, they have experience in dealing with regulators, and they're taking a slower, more methodical approach to how they've gone about this than how Facebook's attempted to go about it with their Libra cryptocurrency. So this is going to be an interesting thing to watch play out between the Bakkt exchange, Facebook's Libra coin, and everything else that's happening in the cryptocurrency market over the near future. It will be quite interesting to watch. So to achieve that vision, ICE is partnering with heavyweights from the world's technology, consulting, and retail: Microsoft, Boston Consulting Group, and Starbucks. So, with the likes of Microsoft, Boston Consulting Group, and Starbucks, they really have gotten themselves involved with some heavyweights in terms of making this vision of a trusted global currency a potential future, something that could potentially happen. Now, the founding imperative for Bakkt will be to make Bitcoin a sound and secure offering for key constituents that now mostly shun it, the world's big financial institutions. The goal is to clear the way for major money managers to offer Bitcoin mutual funds, pension funds, ETFs, and highly regulated mainstream investments. So catch that really clearly. Bakkt is starting with a Bitcoin futures contract. There's a daily contract and a monthly contract that you can purchase. If you purchase either the daily or monthly contracts, you will receive the delivery of Bitcoin into, you'll own that Bitcoin. You'll own 1 Bitcoin per contract. And that Bitcoin will be warehoused by the Bakkt Trust Company, which is a company that Bakkt set up specifically to custody Bitcoin cryptocurrency. And so putting all of this together, it's actually looking quite interesting. So Bitcoin mutual funds, pension funds, ETFs as highly regulated mainstream investments. And this is another key to that statement, highly regulated. With the Bakkt exchange, they've already built it to conform to CFTC guidelines, which is the futures trading guidelines by the futures regulation group under the United States government, as well as they've gotten regulatory approval from from the state of New York to custody cryptocurrency. And so they've begun their process, kind of like, how do you cook a frog? If you drop a frog into boiling water, he jumps right out. But if you put a frog into water and then you slowly turn the heat up, you'll cook the frog. And it sounds like Bakkt's technique for developing a global currency with broad usage is to do it one piece at a time, one step at a time, just a little bit here. But the key thing is they're already starting out by being highly regulated from day one, which is going to give regulators less of an objection for them to have a trusted global currency with broad usage. Whereas Facebook's Libra has tried to jump into that from day one, and they're getting a whole lot of pushback from the regulators. Now, the next step after that could be using Bitcoin to replace your credit card. So it would definitely make sense with the combination. Well, this paragraph covers it. If the Bakkt blueprint works as planned, a panoply of new Bitcoin funds would tap the pent-up demand for cryptocurrency, making it a safe and easy choice for everyday investors, notably millennials getting their first 401ks. Wall Street could then tap Bitcoin's popularity as an alternative to stocks and bonds to generate giant trading volumes. And as these giant trading volumes become more and more, with people using Bitcoin for their 401ks and for mutual funds and everything else, it gets it more and more exposure. So by cracking the 401k and IRA market for cryptocurrency would be a huge win for Bakkt, but the startup's plans raise the prospect for an even more ambitious goal: using Bitcoin to streamline and disrupt the world of payments by moving consumers from swiping credit cards to scanning their Bitcoin apps. The market opportunity is gigantic. Consumers worldwide are paying lofty credit card and online shopping fees on $25 trillion a year in annual purchases. Backcoin's founders tell Fortune that institutional investor campaign is the first of 2 phases. They're a little coy about the second phase, but the presence of Starbucks and Microsoft strongly suggests that Bakkt will strive to revolutionize the way consumers pay at the mall and online. The coffee giant is already a leading player in encouraging customers to pay with their smartphones rather than their credit cards, and Microsoft, through its Azure cloud-based business, serves a huge base of retailers handling back-office tasks from invoicing, processing, to e-commerce. As the flagship retailer, Starbucks will play a pivotal role in developing practical, trusted, and regulated applications for consumers to convert their digital assets into US dollars for use at Starbucks. But don't think it'll stop there. Starbucks, Macy's, JCPenney's, Walmart, all of the different retail stores, Target, on and on the list would go. And so Starbucks may be the first one, but it definitely would not stop there, said Martha, Vice President, Partnership and Payments for Starbucks in the press release. Bakkt is the brainchild of Jeff Sprecher, the founder and chairman CEO of ICE, and a disruptor par excellence. Sprecher stands alone as the leading force in modernizing the world's exchanges in recent years, from open outcry pits into super efficient electronic marketplaces. Along the way, Sprecher built a flailing electricity exchange that he reportedly purchased for $1 into a global trading and data empire now worth $44 billion. In 25 years, he's gone from nothing to the most powerful exchange operator in the world, says Larry Tabb, chief of the consultancy, the Tabb Group. He hasn't failed yet. The New York Stock Exchange is by far the world's largest stock market, trading 1.5 billion shares a day, or nearly 1 in 4 of all equity transactions. ICE is the world leader in almost all categories of futures for soft agricultural commodities such as sugar, coffee, and cotton, chiefly through its 2000 acquisition of the New York Board of Trade. And ICE Futures Europe is the dominant global marketplace for Brent crude, the global oil price benchmark. So what does all of this tell us? These guys are experts in developing an exchange and getting regulatory compliance and agreement, and for developing futures contracts and providing a platform for people to sell a particular futures item. In the case of their historical items, it would be items like sugar, coffee, cotton, and other soft agricultural commodities, all the way up to things like crude oil. And they're currently setting the global oil price benchmark. So what are they going to be able to do with Bitcoin? It sounds like they have some ambitious plans. So they go on to say, Kelly and I brainstormed for 5 years to find a strategy for digital currencies. Obviously, this is not something that they just did overnight. To us, it appears overnight because the Bakkt exchange just came out onto the marketplace. But for the Sprechers, for this power couple who have built the Bakkt exchange, this has been something that they've been working on for more than 5 years now. And so they've taken a lot of time, put in a lot of effort in order to make this exchange a reality. If they succeed with the Bakkt exchange, it could be the biggest development in the churning, hazardous frontier of cryptocurrencies since a mysterious programmer or programmers under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto unveiled Bitcoin in 2009. So the exchange has just gone live this week. It could have a global impact on cryptocurrency. If not today, somewhere soon in a future near you. I want to thank you for listening. I hope you're having a fantastic day. As always, how can I be of service to you? Put your comments down below. Fill out the form. I put a link down there for you to look up that form. In the meantime, like, subscribe, and hodl. Have a great day. Bye-bye.